everybody. I want to welcome you all to another episode of Let's Talk with Grow. And I know you guys saw the flyer. Tonight, the name of our show is Pressure. Tonight, we're going to have a very special guest. You know, I'm doing a series on people that are 18 and younger. Tonight, we have KK on the show. And KK is a football player. KK is graduating from high school this year. He's about to go to college. And the reason why I wanted to have a show on young people, you know, as KK say, he considered himself grown. He 18 years old. He a grown man. But I wanted us to get a good look at what men experience when they are 18 years old, and that their problems are just as real as adult problems sometimes. I think a lot of people underestimate that. And when I get to talk to my young people and I really realize what they're experiencing and what they're going through in their head spaces, on the streets, taking losses with friends being killed, women, you know, it's real interesting. So, KK, how is everything going with prom, and how's everything going with the excitement of going to college?
I feel like the excitement for college is a big change in life, because not most people making 18 or even get to graduate school, because times is hard, money hard, people still struggling. So it's like having the chance to go to college with an opportunity to keep going with my life. I'm gonna take it 100%.
That's good. Now, KK, I know for you, you grew up in a household with a lot of women. You know, I know your mom and you have two younger sisters, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, like, how does that feel for you being in a household with women? You know, like, do you feel like you had to play protector, big brother? Like, how did that work for you?
I feel as it take a turn with both, because you don't want to see nobody you love or somebody that you like have good heart for mess with. So it's like me having to be my mom being a single parent. I gotta step up and play big brother and a protector. So it's like you gotta do what you do for the ones you love.
Right. And I know that's a lot of pressure because you got a real good looking mom. So, you know, I know like your friends, do they ever make jokes like Miss Parker and stuff like that? Because your mother is very beautiful.
Sometimes, but it's like, I mean, what can I can't really be too mad. I mean, ain't nothing happening. I can't be too mad.
Nah, that's what's up. So I wanted to get into some things with you and being 18 years old and dating. Like, what does that look like for you? You know, are you dating, or, you know, are you talking to women yet?
I've been talking to women for a long time.
Oh boy.
I've been talking to women for a very long time. That's just what I like to do.
Okay. So is it an age range on like the women that you date or you talk to? You normally talk to girls your age?
A little bit. But I don't know. I like older women. So it's like
Lord. Stop.
I do like the older woman for real.
So I know you and I had a discussion leading up to the show. And you know, this is very interesting to me. Like, you know, when older women come around, when you and the guys are hanging out where y'all hang out at and stuff, y'all outside, like older women trying to talk to y'all and stuff kind of blew my mind. And I'm in my mind like, okay, I'm 39 years old. I cannot picture myself going up to somebody that's 18 years. I can't even see somebody 20 in their 20s, me going up to them to try to talk to them. You know, so when older women try to approach y'all, like, what do they say? Like, how does that look?
I don't really put it out but like I say, a woman that's gonna want some or like see some, they gonna go get it. Cause like that's just what I'm saying.
So older women, you saying that when they see y'all, they just come at y'all smack. It's like it don't even matter. They just come over there and say what they want to say.
Sometimes.
That's so crazy to me. So when you talking about girls your age, do you feel like y'all have to do more work with trying to get the attention of younger girls?
I don't really feel that's the case, but I don't know. Some women could be older and be immature, like not on their stuff. Not.
What you mean by that?
Nah, I'm saying though, like a woman that I like a woman that got to hustle. Like that's gonna go get something they want. That like I got money. I like money. That's gonna got goals for themselves.
That this so wild to me because the things that you saying right now, right? It's like the same things that I would hear a like 35, 40-year-old man say. Like men say the same thing a lot of times. They be like, I want to go get it. I want a woman that's gonna go get what she want. And it's so funny. We got a Portia in the comments saying, "Oh Lord." Yeah, it is. It's crazy to me. And I know women that so do y'all call older women that try to talk to y'all cougars? So like, what do y'all call them? Like, is it a name for them?
That's exactly what you call them. That's exactly what you call them.
So y'all see an older woman coming at y'all, and y'all be like, "Here come the cougars."
I mean, that's what they is. It's like you can't do nothing about it.
So this about to be real funny. So am I a cougar? Like, how old you gotta be to be a cougar? I need to know when I've graduated.
I don't really know. It's like if you know, you know. Like I don't really know how to put it. Like explain. Like if you know, you know.
Look, Alyssa in the comments. She said a mountain lion. That is so funny. All right, so all jokes to the side. All right, so what are your thoughts on like have you had any friends that got like any girls pregnant?
A lot.
Yeah, like how are you able, has your mindset been to not have children at a young age? Are you intentional about not doing that?
I wouldn't say intentional, but you can't force it. Like if something's meant to be, it's like
oh Lord.
But you gotta know what you're doing also. You can't just be doing anything, just acting all crazy. Like I don't know. See me, I play my cards right. I'm young. I got things to do in my life, so
you play your cards right.
Yeah.
All right. So when you say you got things to do in your life, what things are on your plate for right now?
I got a lot of things I want to do in life.
Give me like 3 of the major things that you focusing on right now coming out of high school.
Starting my own business. I'm going to college. Gotta graduate college and hopefully get my own apartment soon.
Oh, that's good. All right, so I want to talk about some things with your friends and the loss of friends. You've taken a lot of losses as far as friends dying to murder and friends ODing or taking bad drugs, and that seems to be a real common thing now. Tell me a little bit about that. How many people would you say you lost like in the last 2 years as far as your friends are concerned?
I honestly don't know.
Is that many?
I mean, I wouldn't say it's that many, but it's like I don't like thinking of things like that because it's like, but death comes, but you can't just think of things like that. I try. I don't really know how to put it. Like it hurts, but like I just don't know.
You don't like to talk about it?
I really not.
Yeah, I get it. And sometimes you don't want to talk about things like that, but we are going. I know you sent me a photo of one young man, and what was his name?
My man Day Day.
Your man Day Day. We gonna So with him, what's the story on him? I know that you said he passed away.
I say he was more like an older brother to me that I never had. Like with me seeing him grow up, he was a great football player. Just get caught up in. When you're around the streets, it's like things happen. You'll be around things growing up, but you can't stop that. You can't stop the situation of you growing up. Time's hard, but it's like wrong thing, wrong time. Anything can happen.
So what happened to him?
A bad drug.
Wow. And was this like in the form of a pill, or was this like something that was rolled up?
From a pill.
Wow. And when you around guys, and I'm sorry to hear about your friend, and he seemed like he was more family to you, and Do you think that he was just kind of at the wrong place at the wrong time?
I wouldn't say that, but it's like you never know what can happen. Like people try new things all the time. You see all these drugs going on. I mean, not drugs, but all types of stuff that people do. I don't know. That's just not for me though.
So how do you manage the? I know when we talked about the show, you seem real firm on not doing what people around you did, and you told me straight out. You said, "Ro, I don't care what other people do. That just ain't me." And when you in certain situations, like, what does that look like? Do you say this is not me? Do you roll out, or like how does that work? If you around a group of guys and they getting high or they doing something that you don't do, what you do? You stay there and just watch?
I wouldn't say I stay there and just watch, but like certain things, I just know I can't. Like it's just not me. Like me, somebody doing wild drugs. I'm not saying people did, but for example, people doing wild drugs. I ain't doing that. It ain't me. I don't know. I like to be on my P's and Q's. Like I don't want to be all tripping out all day every day.
Yeah. Now, when you say you don't want to be tripping out all day, every day, is it some guys that are your age or in your age group that be tripping out all day, every day?
I want to say because I don't know. I'm a type of guy that like to be by myself. I don't like having everybody around me. I like to be by myself, handle my business, and like, cause you never know what can happen. Anything wrong place, wrong time. Rather something happen to me by myself than other people.
Wow. Now, that was big right there. A lot of guys, that was so big. Like, I respect you a lot just by you saying that. A lot of guys your age move in big numbers.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of guys your age don't understand moving solo and moving quietly. You know what I mean? And I think that that's something wonderful. That's a wonderful attribute to have when you so young. So when you go to college, like, do you think you're going to be moving the same way?
I feel as that, yeah. I mean, most definitely, but it's just certain things you can do around certain people. Like you can have the cool, good friends, but you can't mix them up with people from the trenches. Like you just can't. It's a type of environment because it's two different times of people and two different ways people grown up. You can't expect people to understand how people grew up certain ways and how other people grow up different other ways. So it's hard.
I feel you. So would you say you grew up with the good friends, or would you say you grew up in the trenches?
I would say I would have. I mean, I grew up hard. I mean, it was hard. Single parent trying to do what she do. I mean, I made it to 18. I'm still here.
Tell us a little bit about that. What did it look like? Like, what did Christmases look like in your house coming up?
I feel like Christmas was always special because my mom always do what she do no matter the consequence. Mom is a quiet person. She think I don't know things, but I know a whole lot. So it's like I'm a type of guy. I listen and I sit and observe everything. Like I may see somebody struggling and I like to help them. I'm a kind guy. I mean, I'm a solo guy, but I'm a bright-hearted guy.
Right. That's good. So we're going to go back to that. So basically you saying like during the holidays, even though your mom, she a single parent, she made it happen for you. So it sounds like you ain't had no short Christmases.
I mean, growing up, I started getting a lot less things because my little sister's a spoiled rotten. But
did you understand that?
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. I don't be tripping off of things because I'm at this age now. I don't want nobody to buy me things. Personally, I don't. Because if I want something, I want to get it myself. I'm at this age where I like to be independent. I don't want nobody. People. I want to be 20 years old, 20 plus, having to rely on other people. That's just not me.
That is so good. It's 50-year-old men that still rely on their mother.
I know a whole lot.
And that's crazy to me. You know what I mean? That's good right there. So right now, what's your grades looking like? What you leaving out of high school with on that report card?
I actually don't know my grades right now, but last quarter, I think I had a 3.4, 3.5.
That's good. That's excellent. So, as far as football is concerned, are you going to be playing ball in college?
That's a hard question. I might take a year off. I I mean, I know I'm gonna get used to things, but like mentally get my mind right. And if I still, I mean, I'm a forever had love for the game. I've been playing since I've been 4 years old. It's at a time where you gotta realize whether you're gonna let go or you're gonna keep it going.
Nah, that's what's up. Now we talking about the guys, we talking about the ladies. So you know everybody, all the youngest watching. Do you have a girlfriend?
I don't.
Why you laughing? That's real. That's so funny to me. Yep. I know they be fighting over you and everything else. You so cool. So
Nah.
no girlfriend for you.
Nah, no girlfriend.
So when you go to college, you know a lot of people get caught up on a girlfriend. You think you gonna have a girl in college or you gonna be dolo?
I mean, I don't know, cause you can't. I like the things like that. You can't rush. Everybody like to either rush in a relationship or just play things how things play out. I mean, you just gotta let things play out. In my opinion, if it's gonna be there, it's gonna be there. If not, it's not. You can't just rush. Think you gonna have a girl with somebody and everything flip right after that. Nah.
That's so funny to me. You know, you so mature. You know, you 18 years old. This is crazy to me. All right. So another question that I have. Now, mental health is a big thing right now. You know, we about to get into some real things. And when you say you like to be by yourself and you know you like to provide for yourself, you know, you're a real independent guy. So that tells me that you've been through some things mentally to get to that space. So I kind of want to talk about some things that you went through in your life, like some of the storms you've gone through.
Mhm.
Now I know you have experienced quite a few surgeries, KK.
Yeah, a whole lot.
Like, can you even count how many surgeries you had in your lifetime?
I don't know. I can't say it on top of my head, but I know it's probably like I think about 10.
That's a lot.
A little more.
A lot of people don't get that much surgery in their entire life.
I'm already, but I don't. If things is meant to be, it's meant to be. You can't stop certain situations from happening, but you see how the man I am now. So it's like,
Yeah. Now, so have you ever? What was your most scary experience when you experienced surgeries? Did any of them like had you like geeked a little bit?
not when I broke my wrist. I broke my wrist playing football.
That was your most recent injury, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, how did that work out? How did you end up breaking it? You broke it during the game. Tell us a little bit about that.
I was running the ball right, and I got tackled. When I got tackled, bro rolled. He got a little D lineman. He rolled on my wrist, and my thing popped.
Oh,
But I didn't hear it pop because my adrenaline was running. But you just know when your hand go to sleep, it just tingling. I had no feeling from right here all the way up here.
how long did it stay like that?
I ain't get surgery. The game was probably around like 6:30. I ain't get surgery probably till like 4 in the morning, 3 in the morning.
Oh, they did immediate surgery.
Yeah, but I was running from because I got pulled out the game in there. My mom took me to the hospital because the ambulance was gonna take too long. I rode around to 3 different hospitals that night because the first two couldn't give me surgery.
Oh my God, your mom is actually in the comments and she definitely knew the exact number. She said you have had 17 surgeries in your lifetime.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. That is a lot. And I think that's a big part of why you are the young man that you are. You know what I mean? Because you look at yourself like when people, like if somebody asks you, are you a grown man? What's your answer?
Say yeah.
Yeah, like you feel like you're a grown man, right?
100%.
Yeah, it's a lot of things that come with being grown. You know what I mean? And I think that, you know, you're not even old enough to go to the liquor store.
I'm not. I just turned 18.
Yeah.
Like,
so
3 months ago.
Yep. So it's funny to me, you know, because when you talk to young men like yourself, I really can't take that much away from you saying you grown. When you 17 surgeries in, your headspace is different. You know what I mean? That's a lot of trauma. So when we talk about mental health, I really like to talk to my young athletes about things like this because I feel like y'all don't, like you said, you don't even want to talk about your friends that they got killed. You said you don't even like to think about it.
I don't like talking about death, but I know at times it's gonna come. So it's like I gotta mentally prepare myself for it because you never know what's next. Like
Ooh, have you ever received a phone call about a friend passing away that shocked you?
Mm, I mean, did it actually?
Really?
Mm,
Do you remember where you were when you got the call about him passing away?
I don't even know. I would think I was either outside or I was in my house, but it hit me though, cause like treat me like a little brother at times. So it's like me going around older people is different, cause people my age don't think like this. People my age don't see things how I see things. I mean, not a lot of people see things how I see things. I feel like I see things totally different from others. It just my head is not like everybody else. You can't see things as other people, cause
You're
that's
not there.
yeah, exactly.
So, what do you mean when you say that? Like sometimes when you hear other people talk or you watch the way other people move, what do they do that make you feel like you don't think like them? Like, what's some of the ways that you think? If somebody was gonna give you $1 million after the show, right? And they said, if you just tell us how you think, we're gonna give you $1 million.
I wouldn't say it's no way to how I think. I think it's just me. Like you can't tell nobody how to be you. You just gotta do it. Cause when you try to tell somebody how to be you, that's not you being you. You trying to put on a show when just be yourself.
Yep. Now I know that KK, a lot of things, and I've been like around you for some time now, but until we talked about the show, I didn't know a lot of these things about you. Do you consider yourself a secretive person? Because a lot of people your age is crazy on social media.
Mm-hmm. See me, I don't really care for social media. I don't care for that. I mean, it's there. People love it. It's social media. But it's like I wouldn't consider myself sneaky either. Somebody asks me, I'm gonna tell them the truth. But it's like if you're not asking, it's not your business. If you want to know something, ask. Go ahead. But it's like you can't have everybody in your business because not everybody trying to do good for you. Not everybody want to see you succeed.
Do you know I was in my 30s when I learned that lesson?
Damn.
Yeah, so I just don't want you to underestimate, your wisdom as a young man. Like I was in my 30s. I'm in my 30s now. So I mean, it hasn't been long ago that I learned that you really have to be skeptical. Even the people that seem like they on your squad, not always on your squad. You know what I mean?
I do. I understand that 100%. It's just I don't know. You gotta play your cards right with certain people's cause you can't always expect the best out of all people. You got. I mean, I feel as like you can trust people, but you can't always trust them too much. Because when you expect too much out of somebody, that's exactly how you get hurt.
Man, you speaking, that's why I wanted you on the show. I'm sure that the people watching this are taken back at the wisdom, that you spitting at such a young age. So playing football, right, it can get real grimy. People wanting the spotlight. What position did you play?
Play running back.
Okay. So a lot of times I know when you're a part of a team, and you shining, you got a lot going on, people can get real jealous.
I mean, that's a lot of people. Football or not. People just like me now because I played football growing up. But it's like can't do. I mean, you can't be mad at me that I got been playing 7-4. It's just something my mom wanted me to do to keep me out of trouble. But it's like I'm out of trouble. I don't got nothing going on right now. But it's like it's just how things is. Just how you raised.
It is. And with mental health now, people have some crazy thoughts in their heads. I talk to a lot of young people through the life coaching program, like your age. And I remember one guy, he's 18 and he got a couple of children already, and he kind of in the streets. He's selling drugs and stuff.
People my age got children. A lot of people I know. It's just like, I don't know. Things is different from not everybody is exactly how people picture them to be. Now you don't see a lot of things people talk about because it's more than what people talk about than what they really want to talk about. It's like people can say things, but you never really know how somebody feels because you're not inside their head. Just
do you think that you that type of man?
Yeah.
You think that a lot of times you just say things and it's really not what's in you?
Oh, I mean, I don't say that. I keep it 100 with a lot of people. It just I don't know. It's just certain things you can talk about, and certain things you can't. That's just how I talk to a lot of people because it's like why have you can't have everybody trying to comfort you because you never know what's next.
Yeah. So do you feel like it sounded to me like you feel like you lose a lot of power when you let people know what you're thinking?
100%. I mean, I feel as that I don't know with things going on in today's world. You can't trust a lot of people. I have a couple people you trust and you ride with them, but you never know what can happen because anything can happen anytime, any day.
What made you like that? Because people don't just become like that. You're not born that way. What made you start saying I can't trust people?
I wouldn't say it's that I can't trust people, but you gotta be expected for the unexpected. It's just like
Do you think that came from you getting things happen to you that were unexpected?
I feel like that too, and I feel like just like if you see like you gotta actually look at things sometimes. Like you gotta actually picture how the real world is. Not a lot of people do that. People just living in this world. You gotta see things how it is. When you actually see things, that's when I feel as you gonna really see more and just picture everything different.
That's real. You getting some love from the audience tonight. I'm gonna give you a few of the comments. It's amazing to see the youth of today so knowledgeable. Come on, they gotta respect your gangster. This ain't no youth. This a grown man. So, no, and you know, Alyssa said that everybody does not have your best interest at heart. You know, and they don't. Now, as far as mental health is concerned, have you had any friends that committed suicide?
Mm,
Anybody that you knew of before?
I think so. But mental health is real though. That's what I can say. Not a lot of people actually know that.
I know it.
I mean, I say people know it, but not a lot of people pay attention to it because it's little things people got going on. Whether it's depression, suicidal thoughts, you never know what's really going on in somebody's head. Till somebody actually can sit there and express themselves to you.
Right. Now, like I said, I've had some young men. I'm gonna tell you one thing that really made me launch the series. I had a young man in my office, right? He 18, he's selling drugs, he got women all over the place, older. One of his women is 40 years old. He 18 years old. You understand? He got a child by a 30-year-old. He 18. Anyway, we was talking in my office one day, and you know what he told me? He said that he was having problems with his thoughts. So I'm digging into it. I said, you know, what kind of thoughts are you having? I wasn't ready. He said that something been telling him to kill his kids. And I think that that was one of the most shocking. I have a lot of conversations with people. I think that was one of the most shocking things that I think I've ever heard. And it kind of gave me a different lens because
I mean, I feel as that, like I said, not everybody's saying you can't expect everybody to be just like you.
right.
People different. Everything different. You don't see people just like you. I mean, if you did, that's cool, but it's like not everybody had the same thoughts going on because that's not the world. You can't.
They don't. And you know, like, have you ever had things? Because I'm gonna tell you, you talking right, and I can't help but to wonder what you really be thinking in your mind. Because after this conversation, you know, I don't think that you really say what's on your mind. And you know, because there's no way for you to think that people are like that unless you know that it exists.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, my thing is, what is that like? Like, what are some things that you think in your mind sometimes? Give me one thing that you've thought in your mind that nobody would ever guess.
Uh,
Like nobody would guess it. Like,
that's hard. I really. Oh,
like, do you ever think that though? Like you sit in rooms and think stuff, and people would never think that you thinking what you thinking.
Mm, that's hard, cause I mean, I do. Everybody sit there and think to themselves, but it's like just to remember it on the spot. I mean,
Right. Now you
you could be
good,
mad and just flip out. You ain't gonna remember exactly what
but you
happened.
flipped out about.
Yeah, but you flip out at the moment. You just gonna say whatever. That's what people do. People get mad and say whatever on their head. I mean, what I feel is that's really what's going on. That's really what you're trying to do. Like people get mad and say things like they hate you, they jealous of you, they don't care about you. All this.
You think
That's
that's what they mean?
that's what they mean. Because it's like if it take for your anger to let it out, that's really what you was thinking.
Yeah, and somebody in the comments said that it's hard for her to be vulnerable. And she said she commend you on your honesty because it's clear that you are very guarded. It's clear that you very private. And I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. Like you said, everybody is, have their certain ways, but you do know, I've learned from myself that it is some things that you got to talk about. You got some things happen, especially when you dealing with the loss of friends. I've had friends that got murdered. I've had friends that died in OD. I've had friends that committed suicide. And I went years sometimes without talking about them things, and it affects you later. So with my young tribe now, I just like to talk to you guys about the importance of having somebody. Like you got your mom. You know what I'm saying? Y'all pretty close, it seems. You feel like you could basically talk to your mom about anything?
Uh, at times, yeah.
You
But
see?
I don't see me. I like to try to figure things out on my own. Like no matter the case, I try to let me figure it out first.
Right.
Cause like I said, I don't like relying on people.
Yeah. And you know what though? I felt like that too. But you know what? I just said, I'm gonna have to give this therapy thing a try. Listen, look at your face. Why you look like that? Come on, let's get into it. Why you look like that when I mentioned therapy? I mean, your face was shaking so hard. I couldn't even get the whole word therapy out. You was like, What's your thoughts on therapy?
I feel as that for some people it works, but I just feel as nobody gonna understand me. Like that's what I feel as. Like I could talk to as much people, but deep down, I don't think nobody really gonna understand.
Really?
Yeah.
Somebody understand. And I look, and that's where you are right now. But I will say this. You should be real loose. I agree with that. You should be, real tight on who you talk to about certain things. You know what I mean? Because once you get it out there, it's out.
Exactly.
And once you let somebody know where your head is, they got that on you.
That's why I like a private life.
Yep. And it's nothing wrong with that. It should be certain things in your life that is private, But when you going through things, like I will say this, nephew, if something is hurting you, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's not about, it might be common knowledge. Like if my friend gets killed, right? That's not really the kind of thought that I have to keep private. That's a public announcement. Somebody get killed, that's out there. And I've learned that sometimes just saying it or talking about it, even if it's a mutual friend, damn, I can't believe such and such got killed, blah, blah, blah. That blew me. That hurt me. Mm-hmm. I'm hurt. Like that help a lot. Cause we can't fake like we don't feel things.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say I fake like it. What I say is that I try not to show it. Like
what you feel, and I'm glad you said that. A lot of young men, even young women now that sit with me at this table, they say, they try not to show when they feeling hurt. And I've had people say they don't even like to show when they mad. It's like I hear like a lot of people say things like, don't give them that. Don't let them see you sweat. So why do you think you don't want people to know that you feel hurt?
It's a weakness.
You think it's a weakness?
To some people, yeah. But like, I know some people gonna have a good interest, but it's like, you can't always let everybody in right away. That's how you get crossed.
Yeah.
So it's like, I mean, I talk to people, yeah. I talk to a lot of people. People know me, but people don't know really how I feel. So it's like,
yeah. And that's a big deal, like, because I get what you're saying. I love and respect what you're saying. But you know, a lot of times, nephew, with that mental health piece, I always thought that I wouldn't ever be a victim of that. But man, like when I was trying to come on the good side of things, I say that, you know, I started having to deal with a lot of things. I started having to feel some things. Cause I'm gonna tell you something, nephew, for real. Look, if you get your heart broke, or if you sad about somebody getting killed, or you sad about somebody dying, your heart don't need your permission to feel.
It don't.
It don't. Like you gonna feel.
It don't. I mean, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like things happen. That's why you can't always expect the best out of everybody. You gotta think like how you gonna move, because people don't think like they move. People move how they think.
Okay, hold up. Break me down right there. People don't think how they move. People move how they think. So what you mean by that? Do you got the words to express yourself on that?
Yeah, like people could say one thing or think one thing and do a whole totally different thing. But if you're thinking of one thing and you feel as it's right, do it. Don't double think. Don't double.
Second guess yourself.
Yeah, don't second guess yourself, because your body gonna have the right interest for you. That's what I'm saying.
I get it. I understand. I think I understand what you're saying. You like, look, if your first instinct was to not go to the store with that dude, don't go.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? It's when people second guess themselves that they get into things. Yeah, that's good right there. But I'm gonna tell you, like throughout this show, right? I want you to watch this show.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to take time in your alone time and go back and watch yourself on this show. And I want you to listen to yourself. Like, and everything you saying is like nothing you feel is wrong. You know what I mean? Nothing you saying is wrong. There's no such thing. That's your truth. But I will say that you got a big guard up. Like I can tell you don't trust people.
Nah, not really.
You don't. And it's wild because you gotta trust somebody.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So do you trust anybody?
Yeah, I trust a few people. But
how did they gain your trust? The few, you don't even gotta say no names.
Now I'm gonna give you an example. My uncle, my biological father's blood brother, been locked up since I was like 7 on a RICO charge. My biological father ain't been around. He kept in contact with me throughout all this time. He just about to come home end of this month. He played more of a father figure than my biological father did all my life. So it's like, that's my guy.
So when you say he in on a RICO charge, what is a RICO charge?
Drugs. I mean, gang banging, a lot of things.
So even though, is your father incarcerated?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's like 2 leading men in your life missing. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And how do it make you feel like knowing that your uncle locked up just like your father and he made the time?
But my uncle, I mean, my biological father been in and out of jail my whole life. Ain't nothing changed. See, I could tell my uncle, he changed. He like, I mean, he more of a man than what he was, cause I ain't his kid. I'm his nephew. But he's still playing that father figure role while he's locked up still.
So how does that look? Because you know, a lot of guys that are incarcerated use that as an excuse to not be a father to their child or an uncle to their nephew. So how you feel like, you know, what can you do when you in jail? Like, what can he do to make you feel like y'all close?
Ain't nothing no more. It ain't nothing. I don't care about that man, no. He had the chance to do what he do back when I was a kid. I mean, growing up, I didn't really understand a lot. I was confused. You a kid, you just wanted to have the support and stuff. But once you actually sit back and think about and realize everything going on, You see things different. You stop caring. You stop thinking about how others feel. Just you want to be yourself.
Yeah. So was it ever a time when, hold on, I do want to get back to one question though, like with your uncle being locked up, what has he done to be there for you? I'm interested in that because I just did a prison series and a lot of guys are close to their kids. You know what I mean? I was surprised. Like, what do they do?
Keep in contact with me. He was calling me every week. He been calling me every week for a minute. Writing me, texting me, all types of stuff. Keeping in contact while doing this 13, 14-year bid. You don't gotta do that. You locked up. You supposed to do your time and do what you do, but the keep in touch with somebody else's kid, that's love.
Oh, that's what's up. And you know what's standing out to me? I think that a lot of times this getting real good to me, nephew. So, a lot of times people think that money is what make a child love their parent.
It's not. You can get anybody the money in the world. Money do. I mean, money excite me because I like to make my own money. But like, a person like me, I can't keep receiving handouts from somebody every day, every day. That's just not it. Because you keep receiving handouts, they gonna want something each time they give you a handout. So it's like, why get it on your own and not have to worry about somebody else asking?
Wow. Now let's go to the comments real quick because I like to show everybody a little bit of love. Let's give some shout outs. I see wow, we got my cousin Shalita watching from North Carolina. Hey Shalita, how you doing? We got my sister Talisha from Alabama. We got your mom on here. We got Tiana Smith. How you doing? So Tiana said my uncle was there for me. She said my uncle did time and he was still there. He was in Lawton, was pumping. And she said that he was taking care of home, and that's what made me want to be a correctional officer. Because in that BS, in the criminal justice situation, and she was raised in the hood. She said the odds was against her, but she ended up being a correctional officer because of her uncle that was locked up that took care of home. So you and her kind of can relate on some things, Now, question, like, was it ever a time in your life that you looked up and you saw other people that had a father around and it made you wonder where he was? Because see, like, you grown now. Mm-hmm. But, was it ever a time where you missed him or was mad because he wasn't there?
Me growing up, when I actually started realizing things, I was mad all the time. I'm not gonna lie. People used to talk about their father, their biological father at least. I mean, I just sit there and read because, like I said, I don't like my business being everywhere. I just like to, I don't know. I don't really think about it like that no more, though. I just like, gotta move on with your life someday.
Yeah, but I want to stay right there because, that's still another thing. Like, you was like, man, I'd be around other people whose father was right there and mine wasn't, and I didn't say anything. You see what I mean? Mm-hmm. But you was feeling something.
Yeah, I mean, it used to get to me. I used to be mad. I used to be real mad. Like, just wanted to fight.
Like, why he not here?
That's exactly what I used to think. But it's like, at times you gotta let go and move on. You can't sit back and wait on everybody to do good. Because if they don't want to do good.
That's a lot to take on as a young man. So I got another question for you. If your father, let's say, he just didn't have no money, right? Do you think that it would have made him be a better dad if he still came around, even though he ain't nothing to give you, just by him being there and showing up?
Yeah. I mean, I like money, of course, but it ain't about that. It's you made me, so why can't you be there for me? Like believe it or not, nobody know my biological father, and we look exactly the same first name and all that. But you can't really do nothing about that. You gotta move on.
I'm gonna say this: that's a lot for you to have to go through because a lot of grown, you know, and I'm glad that we talking about this because it be things like this that matter, KK, because a lot of times when we don't have things and you know we get mad about it because we don't have it, a lot of times we really don't realize why we mad. You know what I mean?
At times I do. Cause it's like I used to do the same thing. I used to just be mad. You don't really know why you mad, but when you get that feeling, you pissed off. You just want to lash out, but you can't do that because that's how you crash out. That's how people get locked up. See me, I ain't trying to get locked up. I don't wish jail on no man because the time hard, but you just gotta think.
Yeah. And you know I get a lot of men that come into my office, right? And they not the 18-year-old that they used to be now. You know, they 40 years old and above a lot of the time. And you know, they still have issues with their father not being the father that they really wanted them to be. You know what I mean? And it's good to see you talking about things like this now and taking a look at it. Cause you know, I like to say that when you have things that happen to you, right? There's nothing you can do about it, like you say. And that's so much maturity right there. There's nothing you can do. If somebody don't want to be a father or a mother to you, that's the way it goes. But it is important that we talk about the way it make us feel so we can move on to the next thing. Because when we don't, right, your heart still gonna feel the way it feel, whether you admit it or not.
I understand that. You see me like
I think you're doing a good job. Let me just add that.
I like the certain situations, past bad things. I like you just throw it away, like kick it to the curb. You gotta move on.
I gotta laugh. I'm sorry. The way you just did your head, though, your head said boo.
Yeah, you gotta just kick it to the curb.
Yeah, you just gotta move on. You're right. But I do think that I know that it's still important to address it. Sometimes, like, you concern me. Like, when we said that you had so many friends that you lost that you couldn't even count, like, you didn't know how many surgeries you didn't know how many friends you lost to the streets. We talking about them serious things, nephew. We talking about men that you was walking with that's dead now. We talking about surgeries that you've been through that affected you. Like, that's traumatic. For you to pop your wrist and then go to the doctor and they like, we about to put you under.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like my wrist one was the worst. But it's like, you can't stop certain things from happening. Like, say if you was to get shot right now, you can't be mad about it forever. You gonna do what you gotta do after, but certain things happen for certain reasons. Like, I feel as me breaking my wrist was just a chance for me to get back to what I was doing, be stronger, be better. And I feel like that helped me a lot also. Like certain situations, like I got a big gash in my leg. I don't think not a lot of people know about. Surgery in my eye, my neck. It's a lot.
It's a lot. And like, I just think that it's important because Kay, like, while you sit here and you spit all of this wisdom, right? As an 18-year-old young man, all of those things, I want you to always, it's not dwelling on them, but I still, like, it's important to be mindful, you know, how you felt when you went through them things and how they changed you. Because you didn't become the man you are without those things.
I ain't gonna lie. When I broke my wrist, I was depressed that I was gonna be done. I was ready to drop out of school, ready to be done with football, done with everybody, just angry. Just want to take my anger out on the whole world.
What did you think your broken wrist was going to keep you back from?
Me, before, football was my world. I love football to death. I've been playing. I'm forever had a love for it. But at times, if things ain't meant to be, it's not meant to be. You're going to keep going. You're going to keep doing what you do to succeed and reach your goals. But if nothing's going meant to be, it's meant to be. You got other goals. You got other dreams. You can't stop for one dream. You gotta keep going. You got goals you want to do. You got things you want to do in life. So you can't let everything hold you back.
Yeah, you can't let nothing hold you back.
Same with people. That's why I can move by myself.
Yeah, you can't let people hold you back. But I'm gonna say this too. Like a lot of times, right? I used to move real solo. We're gonna go ahead and get real good at the table. So I think for about 10 years, right? I'm gonna tell you some stuff about me that you don't know. So, when I was selling drugs and doing drugs and, moving how I was moving, I lived in an apartment, matter of fact, right down the street from a sports and learning complex.
Right
They
now.
call it it was Village in the Woods then. But it was a horrible complex. Like police ain't even like going in it. For real, I ain't joking, because they'd kill the police. It was a terrible neighborhood, but it was the only place I could get a spot to live at because I ain't had no credit. And I knew that I didn't want to stay living with dudes for bag. You know what I'm saying? Long story short, I was fried every day. I was high every day. I got up and smoked. In the middle of the night when I got up, I smoked. When I went to work on my lunch break, I was smoking. I was high for probably like 10 years straight. And I ain't really deal with nobody. Like nobody, KK. I ain't have a lot of friends. It was very few, like you said. But I'm going to tell you, in life, you got to figure out how to deal with people, because people is what God used to get you to the next level. A lot of people that got me to the next level, I ain't even gonna lie, we didn't even really have a lot of a personal relationship. You know what I mean? I was just open to hearing them out,
That's the thing about me. Now, I used to just be like a quiet stuff. I ain't want to listen. I ain't want to hear what people saying because I didn't care. I wanted to do what I do. But I realized at times you can listen. That don't mean you got to do it. If you, like, you can go from one end out the other, but it's like,
listen.
yeah, I don't know. Like, I try. Like, I give people a chance, but it's like, if you don't want to do it, don't do it. If you do want to do it, go ahead and do it.
Yep. We got some people in the comments. Tiana, good for you, sis. You made it through. You beat the odds. And she said now she support the youth and help the youth out. And Tiana, my girl, we grew up on Minnesota together. And Alyssa said, she's been where you are. And it's called suppressing your memory. And you'll understand that by and by. But I just want to plant seeds now, so you understand. Because you're going to go through things in life and you're going to remember these things. Like I'm one of them people in your life that you're going to be able to call sometime. You about to go to another level, champ. And, every new level, you go through different things. But people, you're going to have to deal with people. Being by yourself have pluses and minuses. Like, all right, we know the pluses of rolling by yourself. But what you think some of the minuses might be of always being solo and standoffish?
Get caught up. That's really what I feel. I don't know. But like I said, some go down. You never know it. Some can go down anywhere. There's beef anywhere. Some police anywhere.
And you know what? I'm listening to you talk, and it's a good thing, but it's a sad thing because that's what the world can do, and you showing it. Like all you could think about, all you keep saying is anything could go down. That tell me that you done seen a lot go down.
Yeah, I have. But it's like I don't really know how to like put it though. Like
it's all right.
I'm just trying to think of a way how to put it.
Take your time.
I feel as I be around people at times, but it's like I don't like to sit around one spot for too long. People getting shot, killed every day. I don't want it to be me next. So it's like
I don't want it to be you next either. It's not gonna be you.
You don't want nobody. who just want to get hurt? Like, but that's why I move how I move. I can be somewhere in 1 minute and just be hour and a half away within the next hour. It's like if I sit around one place too long, wait for something to happen. Would be on the go, but being on the go comes with things. You get locked up anytime, anywhere. Something happen, car accident, something. You never know.
That's a lot. It's like, listening to you talk, you know who you remind me of? The guys that sit at my table that came from war. That's sad. It's not nothing you could do about that though, because that's the life that, young Black guys live. It's the truth. And I think that a lot of people need to see it. Like tonight, a lot of the things you said and the way you think blew people away. Cause like you sit here and you just spoke with so much wisdom. And when we get to we see the results of the life that you've lived. Mm-hmm. You feel like it sounds like you in a war.
I wouldn't say I'm in a war, but I'm in a war with myself.
That was even bigger.
Cause my friends, I've been around people since I've been young. They be forgetting I just turned 18. People don't realize that, but it's like I'm young. I ain't gonna wait and rely on nobody else. That's why I'm focused on myself to do what I'm gonna do for myself to succeed in life.
So, and the name of your show is Pressure, because that's what you strike me as. You give it and you under it. It seemed like you put a lot of pressure on yourself.
I do, but I think that comes in life though. You gotta learn how to beat that. It's like you getting caught up. I mean, like you running, you racing somebody. You don't want to lose. I'm racing myself. I want to get where I want to be.
Yep. Well, I do want to say this, nephew. KK, in life sometimes, right, I noticed that, men, I want to tell you, the comments going crazy over what you just said. They said you just preached the sermon for the week when you said I'm at war with myself. You know what I mean? I just want you to know it's a lot of people that feel like that. And these all ages. This show not just about age.
That's what people don't realize in life. Things can happen from anybody. 60 years old to somebody 10 years old. You never know. You see it from the outside. You don't see it from the inside.
That's real. But I do want to say this because I can't believe it. But our show is like about to wrap up. An hour went by fast. But in your lifetime, I do want you to know that that it's gonna be times that you need help. Mm-hmm. You do know sometimes you're gonna have to ask somebody for some help. And you don't like that.
I don't. And that make me mad because it's like I said, I already know something. They gonna want something. They gonna call me right back, and that's what I hate. Cause I don't like having somebody that only want me there when they need me.
I will say this: if you call me and you say, bro, I need something," I can tell you right now, I'm solid. You can count on me. I'm going to give you what you need if I can give it to you. Or I'm going to listen to you or say something to you that you need to hear, whether you right or wrong, you want to hear it or not. And that's between us. We solid. Mm-hmm. But you can't go through life like that. Because some people are solid and you're going to need those solid people to get to the next level. When I'm going through stuff sometimes, Kay, my mind be all over the place. You know what I mean? I got to have somebody that I know I could call. And on this road to success, you see on road now with her chains and her bling and everything. But it was people that had to help me. They didn't have to. It was people that I gave a chance to help me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's people that love you that do want to help you. You got to ask God to show you them people, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I understand that. And that's why, I don't know. That's how I keep life going. Because, some people get one wrong thing or feel one wrong way. try to take their life. I got you.
You hear me? All right. Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in for another episode of Let's Talk with Ro. This is the initial, y'all. This is just the first episode of our youth series. And you see, he brought more than some of the 40-year-old men brought it. So age ain't nothing but a number. But I'll see you guys right here next Monday at 7 o'clock for another episode of Let's Talk with Ro.